Welcome everybody to Lakeside Speedway from the Shiles Tower here in Turn 2. Let's ride along with Cheeseworks Video tonight at the Jayhawk Modified Classic 2010.
It's your Jayhawk Modified. A-Main coming at you 4 wide off at turn 4. The best of the Midwest right here at Lakeside Speedway. Shoot it out for 30 laps. Pick your favorite number, favorite color, favorite car, favorite driver. Give them a big Lakeside Speedway salute as they come down the front straightaway. Side by side, looking for the green off at turn number 4. Off at turn 4, green skyward, we're underway. Tim Carrick down at turn 1. Out front, your early leader is Tim Carrick. Here comes Ryan Reuter. Reuter has that 555 into the second spot. Here comes Aaron Moran on the high side. Moran of that 70 working the high line. Reuter checks up. Here comes Moran. Moran will move into the second position. Tim Carrick checks out on the field right now with a 10-car length lead. They'll come around for lap number 2. Tim Carrick, your leader in the McCarthy Auto Group 1K. The battle is for second, the 555 of Ryan Reuter, and the 70 of Aaron Moran. Jim Moody, the 00, is battling with, oh, hold on. We got trouble in turn 1. We're stacking them up. Jeremy Rasmussen, the 7C of Nate Carruth. Looks like Mike Hansen in the 85. And the 41 of Joe Walker. So we're caution on the speedway. Turn 1 they go. Tim Carrick working the low line. Here comes Aaron Moran on the high side. Moran trying to make that high line work as they go down into turn 3. Ryan Reuter will follow suit as he moves up on the high side. Johnny Scott to the inside of Jim Moody. Scott looking to crack the top 5. Mark Dotson will battle with Dustin Boney for 6th. Up front, though, is Tim Carrick working the low line of that McCarthy Auto Group 1K. Nate Carruth takes the 7C of the pit area. His night's done. Carrick bobbles off at turn 2. Here comes Aaron Moran. Moran closed the gap for a second. Carrick gathers the 1K back up. Now Carrick will move up the line. Carrick gets through 1 and 2 much better that time. Aaron Moran right there with him in the 70. As the field starts to stretch out now, 6-car breakaway. Tim Carrick, John O'Neill Jr. up to battle with Aaron Moran for that second spot. John O'Neill Jr. has that 15 working the low line as they come off of turn 2. Carrick will move into the second position. Aaron Moran slides back to third, and Johnny Scott right there with him in the 1ST. That first car of Johnny Scott staying right in the tracks of the 15 of John O'Neill Jr. Low line seems to be fitting those cars well. Carrick setting the pace. John O'Neill Jr. is right there with him, and Johnny Scott. Green on the speedway. Down into turn one they go. Aaron Moran clips the wall as they come down the front straightaway. Sparks off the 70. Not going to slow him down, though, is John O'Neill right on the bumper at Tim Carrick. And Ryan Reuter trying to make a bid for that 5th spot. Tim Carrick out front. John O'Neill Jr. trying to reel your leader in. 2 cars on the move. The 00 of Jim Moody and the 7 of Aaron Moran. Moran that 70 battling with Jim Moody, and they've both closed the gap on Johnny Scott. The New Mexico driver currently sitting in that 3rd spot.
I made a sandwich out of it.
You lost 777 somewhere.
He just went off the track.
Went off the track.
Jim Moody moves into the 3rd spot. Moody gets around Johnny Scott. Aaron Morant will slide back to 5th.
Jay left the track in turn 4.
Whoa! Contact over in turn number 2. Dustin Boney and Terry Beckham get together. Beckham shoved down into the infield. Left front knocked off the 118. Oh, Jim Moody, tough break for the 00. Moody down into the infield. As we've worked our way through the halfway point. As we work lap number 20, Tim Carrick, 10 laps remaining. Carrick in that 1K on cruise control. John O'Neill Jr. looking for a line to close the gap on the 1K. Johnny Scott sitting in that 3rd spot in the 1st car. Chad Lyle runs in the 4th position. Oh, Aaron Morant slides up in turn 3, hits the wall. Morant will lose several positions. Mark Dotson gets around him in the 85.
Calling Rios because we got 2 more rides after that. They're going to let everybody down on the pass.
22 laps down, and we got a battle shaping up for the lead. Here comes John O'Neill Jr. John O'Neill Jr. and Johnny Scott closing the gap on Tim Carrick.
Carrick is leaving one.
There we go. John O'Neill Jr. right up there with Tim Carrick. Johnny Scott right there with him. It's a 3-car breakaway. Chad Lyle trying to stay with your leaders. We've got 7 laps to go this time by. Tim Carrick having problems getting through turns 1 and 2. And now John O'Neill bobbles. Here comes Johnny Scott. Carrick able to pull away as they go down the back straightaway into turn 3. There'll be 5 laps to go this time around. Carrick with a little bit of cushion now between him and John O'Neill Jr. And Chad Lyle drives around Johnny Scott on the high side. Lyle in the Eddie Young Motorsports number 96. trying to find something on that high line. 4 to go this time by. Is there enough time as Lyle's on the move? He's closed the gap on John O'Neill Jr. Chad Lyle up to battle John O'Neill Jr. for second as they close the gap on Tim Carrick. And now John O'Neill Jr. right up on the bumper of Tim Carrick. But Carrick seems to pull away down the back straightaway. He doesn't know the battle right behind him. Chad Lyle on the move. That 96 is really running good. But here comes John O'Neill Jr. as well. The Price Chopper 15, and you've got lap traffic in the way. They'll come off of turn 4 to the white flag. Tim North in front of your leaders. Tim Carrick's going to have to change his line. Here they come. John O'Neill Jr. closes the gap. White flag waving. Carrick will have to go to the high side. If there's going to be a move made, you're going to have to do it now. John O'Neill Jr. right up there with him. Carrick able to pull away. As the field goes down into turn 3, Chad Lyle. Here comes the battle off of turn 4. It's going to be a drag race down the front straightaway. Chad Lyle, Tim Carrick, and Tim Carrick picks up the win. How about it, race fans? What a way to end the Jayhawk 2010 version. Tim Carrick picking up the win.
Here with the winner of the Jayhawk Modified Nationals tonight at Lakeside Speedway, Tim Carrick. Tim, it's rocking and rolling here in the pits, and man, you were doing the same thing out there on the track.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a little nerve-wracking, but it worked out pretty good. The last 2 months of this season has been hell on the Carrick racing team, so this really worked out good for us. This car's actually sold after the night to a guy named Tim Lewis. He's buying it, so I'm going to call it a season and just live on this for the rest of the next 3 months before I get my new cars. So we got some new skyrockets coming.
I was going to say, sometimes it's better to leave on a good note and kind of take that positive stuff into next year, because man, I'm glad. I'm glad he did that to you, not me.
Sorry about that. There you go. Yeah, it's a really good to end on a note like that. I mean, we struggled this year, just at times. I mean, this is the same motor we got most of our top 10s with. So, I mean, we just had some freak issues this year, and it's working out. Worked out to the end of the season where it paid off. I mean, that's what we shoot for. I mean, the point fund wasn't that great this year because of the bad year Mark had. So it's important to take this $5,000 and put it to good use. So, you like to think you're going to go out there and make some money, but I've been fortunate, and Jamie draws some good numbers, and we just lucked. The starting position was good. Had to start up there. I think it'd been hard to.
He really came on there at the end. But once again, folks, your winner for the Jayhawk Modified Nationals, Tim Carrick. Tim, all I can say is, way to go, guy.
3 times. Awesome. That's fun. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks, McCarthy, for putting it on.
Second place finisher here tonight for the Jayhawk Modified Nationals, Chad Lyle. Chad, all I can say, first off, man, I know what you went through this summer, and I got to say this, you got a lot of heart, guy. I mean, that race was just fantastic to watch. I mean, I know you had to really play it kind of patient, and a slick track, it looked like up on the top, but you was making it work.
Yeah, towards the first part of the race, we lost a little bit there early, and it's not that last lap where we was close to him. It was the first 5 laps when we was trying to get around some of the other guys early. Cost us the ground, but he ran good, so he got the win.
I know we can always say this, well, I wish there was 5 more laps, but man, it would have been interesting to see what was happening, because right there at the end, I mean, you was really making it work up on top. Nobody else was doing it.
Well, we needed 100 laps. We'd have been pretty good.
Okay, folks, there's your second place finisher, Chad Lyle. All I can say is great run.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah.